days are starting to run together. But when they're ready for something different, I'll be right here. Hey guys, welcome back to Todd Audio. Today I'm going to review the Arturia MiniLab. This review will be mainly from a keyboardist's perspective, so let's get going. Let's get into the design to start with. One selling point for me was the 16 knobs, which you can assign to anything within your software, which is really nice. You can control effects and so on, and they're easy to keep track of because they're divided into 4 sets. So that was well thought out, set 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you can kind of set it up how you want. They're a little bit more organized to keep track of what you're controlling. The drum pads, they're velocity sensitive. I haven't had any problems with the control there. Seems to be pretty on point with whether I'm hitting it hard or soft. You've got 8 there. Then you've got a button to toggle it to 9 through 16. So you can actually use these pads to control 16 different samples and just toggle it through there. The shift button right here will just control your presets, so you can set this up differently to control things in different ways through the software and turn on your different presets by holding shift and pressing which number. Then you got your convenient octave up and octave down here. If you're set at an octave up, it'll be flashing, so you know. If you're 2 octaves up, it flashes even quicker, so you can kind of keep track of where you're at and easily switch around octaves. The pitch bend and the mod wheel, touch sensitive controls. These were another 2 nice selling points for me. I really liked the fact that in a small portable MIDI keyboard controller, you still have the ability to do note bends and have a mod wheel. You do have to, as you could expect in this price point, you have to make some contact here and apply a little pressure to bend the notes and just make sure that it's reading your signal. Not a major deal or issue there. The keys are also velocity sensitive. They have a nice solid firm feel to them for a MIDI keyboard controller, and it makes it easy to control how loud or soft you're playing different notes. One minor downside, the drum pads, if they come out with another model, I would like to see them be a little bit larger with less of a gap in between them there. Not a big deal though, really. Normally I find that I have my hand over it like this and I'm just hitting the drums, doing a beat, and you just get used to the feel of it. But it would be less likely that you would miss it, I guess, if there was less of a gap there and they were a little bit larger. Not a major issue. Overall, the design is very well thought out. It looks awesome and professional. It's fun to use, and it really makes things convenient and lends itself well to portability and making music on the go. This is the MIDI control center software that comes with it, and basically you can use this to change any available setting, which there are a lot of options you can change. It already has default settings, so you can plug and play, but then if you want to get into specifics of, well, I want this to be a switch instead of a knob, variable control knob, you can do that type of thing. You can make the drum pads switches instead. So you can have a number of presets set up in the device memories over here. And again, you can just hold shift and press the number that you want to switch to for the presets. So a lot of control there with the MIDI control center software, and you can basically figure out a way to set it up however you want for your needs. Now I'll get into the Analog Lab software. I recently logged into my account on Arturia.com, and it allowed me to download Analog Lab 2. So I believe now it comes with the Analog Lab 1 and 2 software for free with it when you buy it. You can go in and basically just filter by type of instrument if you want to, and just pull up bass sounds and just try them out. So there's just tons of them. I really can't even brush the surface of how many different sounds there are, but definitely enough to get going and get you started. I really like the organ sounds. That's one category that I've found that just has some thick sounding organs that you can play. So as you can tell, there's plenty of sounds. This is just the Analog Lab 1. Analog Lab 2 looks a little bit actually easier to use. The sounds, now that I'm starting to use it, sound like they have a little bit more detail as can be expected. And again, you can just sort it by type and find what you're looking for. I haven't really messed with the guitars too much yet, but we can go to the guitar. So again, I could do this all day and just try out different sounds, but I just wanted to give you some samples of a few going through, and one more. Let's do maybe some bass sounds within the Analog Lab just to get some variety. Maybe bass and brass. We'll try a couple of those. So everything's really, got that synth touch to it. Really just a synth platform here. Whether you're doing a bass, a guitar, or what, it's all kind of, got that synth sound. Brass was the other thing we're going to try. So I'll stop there. You kind of at least got a sample of the different sounds. You get both of those as far as I know. So again, maybe check with your distributor. Make sure it does come with Analog Lab 1 and 2. For me, it did. And that's a ton of sounds that I find usable. I'll probably jump on this library for synth sounds, for some of the synth bass sounds, and some of the organ sounds. I may start going to it when I'm doing productions to find some sounds in that category, in those categories especially. But definitely impressive that you can just get these, this many sounds in a package like this. If you want more details on how to use the Analog Lab software, check out Arturia's YouTube channel because they go into a lot of detail about the different effects, controls, and blending instruments and that type of thing. I just wanted to show it to you, and the fact that there's a whole index of different usable instruments. I'm just now kind of getting into it, and I can already tell that there's a lot of things that I will use in future productions. But the main purpose that I got it for is the hardware and just the ability to have something on my keyboard rack that takes up minimal space, that I can use the keys and the pads to control other elements of songs that I'm playing live, as well as the production aspect. I just recently got into the portability of it and took just a laptop and the MiniLab with me on the road, and I was actually surprised by the amount of control that gave me. Even though as a keyboardist I didn't have a full-size keyboard, I was able to just come up with ideas, open up the laptop, open up Ableton, and just start putting ideas down with the MiniLab, which was really nice. It's powered right through USB, so if you have a laptop with a battery that lasts a while, I got like 2 hours of it with mine, and it really doesn't draw that much power because even without the MiniLab hooked up, I don't really get much better. So I'm pretty impressed with that too. And that about wraps up my review and everything with my own personal experience with this Arturia MiniLab. So thanks for watching. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe, and have an awesome day.